I'm doing well. It's been a pretty interesting week in the realm of Dead by Daylight.
I personally think that Resident Evil was pretty expectable to finally appear in DPD because it was highly requested from players, and developers themselves kind of wanted to add this chapter as well. But I'm not excited about it because well, it's kind of obvious who the killer is going to be, uh, but well, probably Mr. X or Nemesis, which is kind of obvious. But survivors can be quite interesting because there are quite few playable characters in Resident Evil anthology in this game series. Uh, Maybe we're going to get some interested. I'm more interested with how perks are going to work. What perks are they going to add to the game, and how they're going to. I mean, so there's so much stuff in this game already. I mean, what are they going to add something we? They need to add something that won't be as OP as like for example, Decisive Strike was, but they they need to like adjust it so it's going to be fun and it's going to be balanced. So people who use these perks, they like oh it's a very fun perk to use, but it's also balanced, which is not easy, which is not an easy thing to do. Like one of the changes I mostly agree on is the DS change. Now it's actually now it actually makes it punishes you for tunneling as a survivor. Not like it used to be. Survivor is just fixing a gen in front of your face, then you down and then you pick him up and then you get DS'd. That's not a tunneling at all. So, but yeah, I'm very excited for the new chapter's game mechanic aspects. But from by the lore and by the characters, I'm not so excited because I played Resident Evil almost all games from this game series. So we'll see. We'll see. I'm very excited. I'm very excited for the game aspects. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can ask me. Hold on.
Uh,
If my
oh
if my
no.
thoughts aren't the
Uh,
most coherent, it's because I'm still waking up. But yeah, this is a bad thing for the game. It's a bad thing for the game. Not because like the game's not gonna do well because of it. They're certainly gonna make a bunch of money from this. But it's a bad thing from a game health perspective. This is going to put the issues that we constantly bitch about on the back burner because it's gonna bring a bunch of new players in who don't know the issues, and it's a revolving door system. It's feeding the beast, if you will. It's just gonna keep the same cycle that we've been consistently complaining about for forever. And it's like I don't even have a cautious optimism. Like a lot of my tone towards new content lately has been cautious optimism. But I don't even have that for this. I just think this
Well,
is going to be a disaster. The
well,
perks are going to be bad.
you know they had to bring that out because how much of a failure All Kill was. Almost
Yeah.
everyone's already forgotten about it.
Oh, when the killer's bad, and of course everyone's already forgotten about it. What I want to know is what people think is going to be so different about this. Like what's going to be so different? The killer is going to be a mid-tier piece of crap that can't compete against good survivors, just like
yeah.
all the rest of them. Like what is the hype? I just don't get it.
Well,
I'm nervous.
for example,
The only thing that most people The only thing most people are gonna remember about it were the Wraith changes and the DS nerf. Really, that's what
Wraith-
you can
Wraith
rename
feels
the chapter
great.
to.
Yeah.
I've played Wraith now. I played him off stream
Yeah,
yesterday. He
Wraith
feels
is-
And
great.
the blight
He's underrated.
changes and quotes, you know.
There's one thing I really don't like. Like the Trickster is, yeah, his lore is almost perfect. Everyone liked it. His cosmetics, aesthetic-wise, he doesn't fit DBD. Let's just name things how they are. Like, I mean, white-haired guy in DBD, like. It's 2021. Come on, I know you want some unusual stuff for the game, but it doesn't have to be that ridiculous. Aesthetically wise, this killer is terrible for this game, but his lore is fine. Yes, his power was an absolute dog shit when it came out. They buffed it a little, but still it's not enough. People still lose it. Even True Talent called him. He used to call him Deep Hipster, right? But maybe
Yeah.
he doesn't even now. He wasted a bunch of hours trying to get Trickster Adept, and he finally got it. But this killer, okay, so we thought Legion and Pig were, I mean, they kind of are right now, but they were like the weakest killers in the game. But now it's Trickster who's the weakest killer in the game, along with Pig and Legion. About Legion, I have some interesting things to give Legion, show him some love, and maybe the devs will agree with me, but he's fatigue. It's an absolute disaster. Like 4 seconds standing and staring at Survivor running away from you, making distance. It's brain breaking. I mean, just you have to stand there. Yeah.
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 I hear you very
Yes.
well, James.
Yep.
Am I the only one that thinks that that are big-titted vampire bitches the killer and not Mr. X or Nemesis? Because it's like it's a hype right now. This new game, the newest
I don't
Resident
believe
Evil
that.
part, and it's like, yeah, I don't know, like.
The thing that pisses me a little that they reduced the main event fatigue or the cooldown, if you want to call it, from 10 seconds to 5 seconds, and that's quite a good buff to Trickster. But they still refuse to make Legion's cooldown smaller. They just ignore it and say it's balanced. It's not balanced. I mean, they most focused on Trickster right now, and that's understandable because he's the new killer. He needs work, but Jay was right. The Resident Evil comes very early. I mean, it's not time for it for now.
Well-
They need to fix old killers and Trickster before even thinking about releasing a new killer from Resident Evil.
Yep.
Resident Evil now.
Mhm. Um,
Well, guys, I'll see you